Welcome back to 45 Sports. We got UFC 283 this weekend. Huge card. A lot of people don't like this card, but go cry about it. We'll go ahead and get started right off the bat. Glover Teixira versus Jamahal Hill. You could tell Dana was pretty mad about the whole, draw between Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev. So he just automatically knew, I've got to book a fight. I've got to. And Glover deserves that. Glover deserves a title shot, It sucks that Yuri, got his shoulder injury that is going to probably cost him a year and a half. So we're not going to see Yuri probably till 2024, which I hate to say. I hate the idea of that. 2024 is so far away. So one of these guys is going to be the light heavyweight champion, and I'm going to go with Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill has a longer reach, and I think he's going to be able to touch up Glover pretty good, and I think it'll be a really good fight, but I think it's going to be over in 2, and I'm going to give it to Jamahal Hill. Now we move on to Brandon Moreno versus Deiveson Figueiredo. I actually saw Brandon Moreno at UFC 277. I mean, an absolute beast. I was kind of rooting for Kai just because, I don't know, he was doing so good, and, he was on a comeback off of the Cody Garbrandt win and the Askar Askarov win, and I just wanted to see something new. No offense to these two guys. These two guys are obviously great fighters, but I wasn't as much interested in this quadrilogy than I was a Deiveson Figueiredo Kai Kara France fight. But was I mad when Brandon won? Absolutely not. If you don't like Brandon Moreno, you're something's wrong with you, is what I'm saying. But he's going against a killer in Deiveson Figueiredo, who he has beat. These guys are 1-1-1. And the first one they drawed, second one Brandon took, third one Deiveson took, which you could argue Brandon could have won that fight. I do think that Deiveson probably won that fight, but I really haven't. I've only watched it like 2 times since, and I don't know. It's a very tough fight to score just with all the knockdowns. But for this fight, I'm going Brandon Moreno. I don't know why, and I probably shouldn't because of the whole James Krause situation. So Brandon Moreno's interim coach, Saif Saud, says that he believes in Brandon Moreno, and I think Brandon is just completely locked in. I really do. I just like the Brandon Moreno pick better. I don't really know why, but I don't know. Kind of like I want Brandon to win. Now, are they going to do a 5th fight? I don't know. I don't even want to know. Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. Now, I don't agree with the matchmaking, but obviously this fight was tough. Gilbert just won it on this card more than anything. But Neil Magny just lost to Shavkat, and I know he's off of the win versus Daniel Rodriguez, but Daniel Rodriguez is, I don't know. Since his comeback, he just hasn't really impressed me. I thought he lost to Li Jiling. I thought Neil Magny pretty much outworked him, but there really wasn't that many matchup for Gilbert Burns. I mean, obviously he's not going to fight Vicente Luque. Sean Brady and Bilal Muhammad just fought. He's already beat Stephen Thompson. I mean, Hamzat, he could have done a rematch with Hamzat, but I don't think that was what the UFC really wanted. Jorge was turning down the fight. You thought Shavkat versus Jeff Neal was going to happen for the first card this year, but that obviously is getting pushed back. And there just really wasn't anyone besides Neil Magny that made sense. I mean, Chiesa, Pereira's got a fight coming up. Li Jiling, I think he was supposed to fight at 284, so I don't know. This fight, it just had to happen. Gilbert was like, I've got to get on this card no matter what. And he's really taken, a scary fight. Neil Magny, he's the 12th ranked guy, but he's always a dog. He'll come out there and he'll give you a fight. So it'll be a good fight, but I'm going to take Gilbert Burns as a decision. Jessica Andrade versus Lauren Murphy. I'm going to keep this one simple. Jessica Andrade is just an absolute beast. Lauren Murphy looked great against Miesha Tate at UFC Long Island. But Jessica Andrade is just an animal. She can fight at any weight she wants. So I'm taking Jessica Andrade in her hometown. Well, home country. Paul Craig versus Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker is the favorite, -170 to +145 for Paul Craig. I'm gonna ride with Johnny Walker here. I think Johnny Walker gets the job done. He talked about how he got off of weed, and he thinks that's what was holding him back for those last few fights. Paul Craig's just been very jiu-jitsu heavy, and don't get me wrong, he can kill you with his jiu-jitsu, but at the same time, this is MMA. Like, guys can strike, and I'm taking Johnny Walker by, I'm gonna go TKO in the 3rd round. That's what I'm gonna go with. Mauricio Shogun Hua versus Ihor, I forgot to say his last name. I saw him at UFC 277 against Nagumaranu, who just lost to Carlos Ulberg at UFC 281. I'm going to go with Ihor, and I hate to say it, but I'm not because of anything, but I just want Shogun to go off, with a win. I feel like that'd be cooler for the program, and that'd be cooler for his career, because he says he is retiring no matter what, but I'm going to go with Ihor. All right, now this one, okay, this line has changed. This line has changed since I looked at this. He was a minus 185. He's now minus 215. I don't know if you are a bettor, bet Gregory Rodriguez, because Gregory Rodriguez is no slouch, but this guy he's going against, Bruno Ferreira, is called the Hulk, and he's only been to the second round 2 times. Now, the competition he's fought like 2 guys above 10 wins. One guy did have like 35 wins, but he was like 35-17, and all against not the best competition. Gregory Rodriguez is an absolute beast. They call him RoboCop for a reason. So I'm going to go Gregory Rodriguez. Obviously, this is just another one of the fights on this card that had to get changed. Brad Tavares was supposed to be against Gregory Rodriguez here, but I'm going to rock with Gregory Rodriguez. So I don't know how confident I am, just because this guy is an absolute beast, Ferreira. I did my research, and he is an absolute beast. He's undefeated for a reason. But like I said, hasn't fought the top competition. So we'll see. I'm going to ride with Gregory Rodriguez, but it'll be a scary one. I think that one will be fireworks. Thiago Moises versus Costa. Now, Costa is also another short fight replacement. It was supposed to be Kudalaze from the lightweight division. Thiago Moises is just an absolute vet. I think Costa is coming in, he's obviously short notice, and I just feel like Moises is an absolute stud, and I'm going to take Moises just because he's got experience, and he's fought top competition. If you know anything about the light heavyweight division or the heavyweight division, Jailton Almeida is a scary guy. Like, that man is terrifying. There's a reason he's a minus 900, and he's unranked against Shamil. I never say his last name, just never want to. But the guy is ranked. He's had good wins. Obviously, he's lost to Sergey Pavlovich, which, we see how that's going now. He's an absolute beast. But Almeida he comes in at like 230 pounds and then just mauls you. There's a reason that nobody wants to fight him. Like, he's lost like 5 fights in the last year. And Shamil has pulled out twice. So there's a lot of guys that just don't want to fight Almeida. And the reason is because he can go between light heavyweight and heavyweight. And he's just an absolute stud. I'm taking Almeida. Now here's where we talk about the Bonfim brothers. Now this one is the welterweight, Gabriel Bonfim. I'm going to rock with him. I watched him and his brother on the Dana White's Contender Series. We'll get to the other one. He's also on the card. He's a lightweight. He will be facing Terrence McKinney. I'm going to rock with both. But the other Bonfim brother, I'm not going to predict that fight because I like both of them. So for this one, I am going to rock with Gabriel. I'm going to go with Cody Stamann. I saw him at UFC Austin against Eddie Wineland. It was a great fight. It was just like Cody caught him within the first minute and it was over. This fight, I'm not going to pick. I like both of these fighters, so it's tough. And the Bonfim brothers are an absolute, they're studs. But Terrence McKinney, we all know what Terrence McKinney has. He's got fireworks for hands. He can wrestle. He had a tough outing against Drew Dober, but I honestly thought he was going to win that fight at first. But, Drew Dober's just an absolute stud. This card is really underrated, I feel like, in my opinion. But I feel like it's going to be a good one. I don't know. It's definitely not going to be, like, card of the year, but I definitely think it will be, like, middle to higher tier of the card. Because I feel like cards in different countries always do pretty good. You just got to think back to the cards last year. When they go out of the country of the United States, it does pretty good. You got to think of Singapore, Abu Dhabi, those are the only 2 times they went out of the country, I believe, last year in terms of UFC pay-per-views. But I know this year they are definitely wanting to go out of country. They've got a Brazil card, the Australia card. They're looking to get a Spain card. I doubt that one will be for a pay-per-view. They want to do another France card. They want to go to Canada again. Probably an Abu Dhabi card somewhere in there. They'll just keep that going. And, I know the UFC, they're absolutely killing it, and it's going to be a great 2023 for the UFC. So thank you guys for watching. Those were my picks for UFC 283. Peace.